During the day on the Tema Motorway, there's a lot of traffic. Here's one. Bernard, the traffic situation on the motorway is indeed a serious issue. However, it's time our contractors began to take citizens more seriously. Why can't roadworks be done at night instead of during rush hour? Most of the traffic problems in this country are caused by poorly planned construction, potholes, or roadworks that are not properly thought through. These disruptions not only slow down movement but also encourage indiscipline on the roads, as frustrated drivers look for the shortcuts or break the rules just to get by. This is not just an inconvenience, it directly impacts productivity and the economy. We need smarter planning and a more citizen-focused approach to infrastructure projects. Authorities must change this. All right, now, I just wanted to say that to this texter that I'm told that for this particular morning that we're discussing the motorway, there's a track that's broken down.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's the construction. But yeah, you're right. Because the way the construction is going on the motorway, it will inconvenience people. But I'm told that this particular morning, it is because of the a broken down track. Now, I wanted to read some comments on the what's
CD.
it? CD. Okay. There's something from somebody who I presume works in a bank. So he wants to explain why your bank may not be giving you dollars over the counter.
That's right.
Hello, guys. The bank is obliged to give you dollars over the counter if you deposited physical dollars into your account, okay, or if you bought the dollars from the bank. However, if the funds came into the account by receiving a transfer or by check deposit, which is non-physical cash, the bank will only give you dollar if it has sufficient dollars at its disposal and will charge you commission of 3%. Else, it will pay you the CD equivalent using the prevailing rate. The rate is sometimes negotiable depending on the quantum of the amount. Now, quantum and amount, okay. The banks do so because they have to go and buy dollars from the Bank of Ghana for you at a charge. And this is also subject to Bank of Ghana having sufficient dollars to supply. Okay, thank you for this one. I'm suspecting the person who sent this message actually deposited physical dollars. That's why he's so upset. The original message I read. Good morning, guys. This is the broken down track on the motorway. It's yellow. It has something like pieces of wood stuck on it. And it is causing massive amounts of traffic. I need to say, though, that the motorway road is moving very, very fast.
Yep.
I used that road about twice over the weekend, and I was at Boteman this weekend.
Yeah,
for some athletics event.
Okay.
And I decided to use the motorway. Boteman road is pretty good.
Yeah, it's been very well.
Traffic
done.
lights are working.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are street lights though. Are there?
No, there are.
I used it in the day, so I'm not sure.
From the Trasaco end all the way to where the...
Yeah.
No, there are street lights.
The only challenge was that those who were going to Spintex had to use the tunnel.
That's the bottleneck.
Yeah, that tunnel is so sad.
It's literally a bottleneck.
But I'm sure they're doing. I could see attempts to construct a bridge at the 18th side.
It.
Yeah.
Right.
But the motorway project is going very fast. I need to say it's going very, very fast.
Yeah, but why don't we sweep the roads?
At all.
There's a lot of filth on our roads.
Yes.
You see the Kaswa flyover or the interchange thing.
Yes.
The
It's
whole town
terrible.
is dirty.
Everywhere.
Meanwhile, people are unemployed. I think they should decentralize waste management and allow assemblies to employ street sweepers and pay them.
Bernard, yesterday I went to Tudu.
Tudupo.
Oh, Bernard.
Even Kanda Highway.
I mean, it's an eyesore, and Tudu is just a few minutes walk from the AMA headquarters.
So bad.
And the way the place was engulfed
Yeah.
in filth, I was asking myself, how is this?
Sky, I use roads at Jiringano Road. Even, let me tell you one, the saddest one. So there was a day I drove from East Legon towards Mahama Road, the new road they've done. There's even dirt on that road. This new road, though. So when you connect from East Legon and you climb up,
Yeah.
there are some rumble strips. Some people have just left refuse. Nobody sweeps the place. It's like we don't. I didn't. Like we don't. How do they say it in G or English or whatever? It's yeah. It doesn't. You know, a new beautiful road though, and there's debris. When I use circle, I'm coming to work, so I use the circle overhead. Oh man.
Yeah, and that one is like
somebody has just decided to camp there with refuse.
That's what I was
Yeah, but like the city sweepers.
That's all about saying. It's like when you're coming and you come up the thing. It's like you come and enter the one that's coming from like Tesano, and it's like the interchange. It's like that corner there. It's like somebody has been sleeping there. So you see a blanket. Sometimes you actually see people there, and there's so much filth. It's like they are sleeping there. It's so bad.
And when you, last time I was complaining, when you get to 37 traffic light, you know, there's a turn that you take if you are going towards, what do you call it, Tetekwashi roundabout.
Yeah.
There's a turn that you take and then you go into the hospital itself.
Yeah.
After that, after the traffic light, for some reason they have dug some, I don't know whether it's a hole or whatever it is, and they are pouring rubbish in there. Plastic bags, all kinds of things in there. Just before the roundabout.
You know, the president, when he met the assemblies last month, said that he was going to rank assemblies on the basis of filth and cleanliness. That sanitation was going to be the watchword. I really think they need to put in place some structures to make sure that works, because I don't think they've heard him. I don't think they've heard him at all. I don't think they are determined to get the streets clean at all.
There's an issue we always talk about when we deal with road constructions, and it's about directional signs. Again, if you go back to this Kaswa Winneba Road, honestly, I went there in 2024 when the project was about to begin. Haven't been there since. So when I used it over the weekend, I thought the pace of work I saw was good. I was impressed with the pace of work given the scope of the project and all. But I thought that one thing I saw that I thought could be better done was you could be going and then there is a heap of sand or the road has been diverted.
It just appeared.
There's no directional sign that helps you. So again, at night there is no light and there are huge, road speed ramps and all those things. It's not the best. So I think NACFEMET, the contractors, can do something about it. I also saw the drains they were constructing, or some they have done. They were not covered. Others looked very narrow. I don't know the engineering behind the very small drains that they were doing. This is closer to Kaswa. So if they can explain, that would be great. Otherwise, I think the drains also need to be covered. And then if you come to the Bujuburam side where the communities or the numbers are huge, I felt the watering there could be better than what
because
I
a lot
saw.
of dust.
There's a lot of dust there, and there's a market, there's a traffic situation there, so something to ameliorate the plight of the people would be very, very much appreciated.
Well said. 10:39 City Breakfast Show. This morning is two tracks. We're dealing with the currency track and we're dealing with the road track. Let's deal with some comments on currency. Sky, if you can read for me.
Okay, so this one's a Bernard. The banks pay out dollars that are deposited over the counter. Variably, the bank serves as a custodian of your currency. Currency transferred, that is electronically, either by remittance or proceeds from export, must be converted into cedis at the advertised buy rate, which is lower than the sell rate. People need to get clarity on what the sell rate is and what the buy rate is as well. Now, if you have CDs and you need FX, the deal is done on the sell side, while the reverse is done on the buy side. Hence, the two-way quotation, which is buy and sell. Now, the CD is our sole legal tender. For clarity, no bank is under an obligation to pay out FX over the counter, which was received through transfer, being remittances or offshore proceeds.
All right.
FX paid over the counter are the ones deposited over the counter. It's coming in from Koku, who's listening to us in Accra. This one says, Bernard, if I heard well, the person said the dollars he wanted to withdraw were transferred.
Okay.
But not fiscal dollars that he deposited. So in which case the earlier...
That means that the bank is right if they don't have dollars.
In that instance, unless he needs fiscal dollars to travel, the bank will give...
I think it's the dollar. The bank is not.
Part of what he was also complaining about was the rate. If you remember, he said he got it at 9.9 or something, which was another
it's much
thing
lower.
that annoyed him.
Yeah.
So this one says it's a truck carrying sand which has poured the sand on the motorway. So
Sky, it's true. So apparently the vehicles have been at standstill for over an hour because an incident involving a tipper truck carrying sand and stones, it overturned in the middle of the highway, blocking several lanes. Vehicles have been at a standstill for over an hour, causing significant delays for both private and commercial drivers. As of the time of filing this report, no police personnel had been seen at the scene to direct traffic or assist with clearing the obstruction. Now, my question is, Sky, we've been talking about lack of a towing thing for at least 2 months on this program. Mr. Maliba promised that there's a new law that they are putting in place to operationalize that. I really want to urge him to work faster on this because, it's like a truck falls on a motorway and the whole city cannot move. You cannot have that. So if the government itself is going to get towing trucks or the assemblies will get it, you cannot have a functioning system without towing vehicle. You know what I'm saying? We are using old Land Rover cars for towing. They can't tow trucks. We need a proper towing system for large trucks, particularly because of the road constructions going on. So, Road Safety Commission, please, what is the update on the new law? Okay, Fred, can you ask Mr. Mali about the update? Because Parliament is back in session. The list of laws they said were passing this year, is there a road? Please check for me. There was a list of new laws they said they were passing this year. Is there one on road safety? Because Mr. Maliba promised us that issue will be dealt with in the new road traffic law. So please check for me. It's very, very important.
So let me check.
Okay, no, you want to do
I wanted to add, since we are talking about towing and trucks, we have to talk about this. So many people whose cars break down, no lights, no triangle, and they just leave their car and go, especially at night.
Neem tree.
It's very dangerous. In fact, I've nearly had an accident before.
Okay.
I was driving and the person had put like a jerry can or whatever and a reflective jacket or something. If I didn't at night. And the thing about the reflective jacket is about how much light is around.
Jesus.
So if it's just there,
I nearly ran into the can.
I nearly ran into the can.
This
is what like the Achimota overhead. You know, kind of like behind like Achimota school. You know, they have like some overhead behind Achimota school going to campus through their back.
Wow.
Yes.
And this is late in the night.
Yeah, this was like 10 p.m. or something.
Worse is when they remove their t-shirt and then they put it on the floor and they sleep under the truck.
Oh goodness.
Because they are tired.
Yeah, they don't care. They just
Things are happening on our road.
Ghana, they're disciplined.
Road Safety Commission, please tell us what you're doing so we can help you do it better.
Bernard,
We need you to give us a proper towing system. Yes, is that law part?
No, it's not. There are 18 of these proposed list of bills scheduled for introduction in Parliament, and it's not here. So there's Economic and Organized Crime Office Bill, Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill,
GIPC,
Ghana Deposit Protection Bill, Exemptions Amendments Bill, Exemptions Regulation, Customs, Income Tax, Revenue Administration, Public-Private Partnership, Fees and Charges. Maybe it will come there. Fees and charges. This is miscellaneous provision. I mean, it doesn't fit, right? And then there is Conduct of Public Officers Bill, Criminal and Other Offences Procedure. Does it fall there as well? No, it doesn't. Ghana Industrial Property Office Bill. No. Interstate Succession Bill. Legal Education Reform Bill. That's 16. 15. 16. Legal Profession Bill. 17. Notaries Public Amendment Bill. That's not it. Neither. And 18 is Presidential Transition Amendment. But we know we
find out from online what Mr. Maliba said. I called him on a number of things. We had interviewed him on
30th April.
Street signage, which was haphazardly positioned, and then also the lack of a towing system. Did he make any specific reference to towing?
So on 30th April 2025, Amaliba explained that the proposed measure will be included in a new legislative instrument which covers the legislation of commercial motorbike operations.
So that's LI.
Yes. So they
are still working on the LI.
It says there is a variant of the towing law that was introduced but was later suspended. The new development will ensure that vehicle owners must subscribe to a towing company or insurance. The earlier one that was introduced had a monopoly concern in collection of the towing
which we said we didn't want.
But the new thinking, which will be in the Okada legislation LI, will see to it that when the law is passed, every owner must subscribe to the towing company or insurance company, so that when your vehicle breaks down, you just call your subscriber to come to your aid.
But Charlie, it's 30th April, and they've not listed it as part of the bills for the.
Yeah.
By the way, LI is a bill. LI is different.
Also a bill. So basically, what it does is to give or add meat to the skeletal provisions of a Parent Act. So let's say we say Bernard Avle Act on cybersecurity. Then you say in the act that the minister shall prepare regulations which shall be laid before Parliament to.
So the road safety bill will not be amended. It's just the LI that will be introduced.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So the LI will basically give effect.
How long does it take to prepare those things?
Well, it involves a lot of consultation. So multi-stakeholder engagements are done before eventually the sponsoring institution will take it back to cabinet for cabinet to okay it. If it is okay, then the Attorney General is happy with it.
Yeah.
Then the sponsoring institution will take it to Parliament, and you do know that if there are some concerns, they would have to do because in when it has to do with LIs and CIs, Parliament has no authority to amend them.
So he has to do consultation.
Exactly.
So let me get back to Mr. Maliba. He has joined us happily. Mr. Maliba, thank you for joining us. We spoke on 30th April. You updated us that the LI around Okada and other things were being worked on, which would include the aspect on towing, which insurance we will pay for. We just wanted an update on that because this morning people are calling us from the motorway. A truck has fallen down and all hell has broken loose. For over 1 hour, nobody's moving. I'm sure you're aware of this. What's the status of the LI you spoke to us in April about?
So I'm sure you are talking about LI 2180.
Yes.
Yes. So if it is amended, then you will be required to either subscribe to a towing agency or you will buy a policy with your insurance company. Now, this law also includes the Okada Amendment. And as I speak to you now, the Attorney General Department is giving final touches to it and to be presented to Parliament.
So from your side as road safety, it's ready. It's just the AG you are asking his opinions on. Your inputs have been made.
Yeah, we were part of a committee that looked at the law initially, drafted it, and then you will still have to give it to Attorney General to, as it were, put in the legal language and legal touches. Now, also, I think Standard Board, Authority has also brought in a section or a part which will talk about helmets for the Okada. That will also be included, and then it will finally sent to the Parliament.
So, when the list of laws to be passed for this round of Parliament was released, about 17 of them, we didn't see that LI. So it appears to me that the work being done will not be done until at least, I don't know what is a session or sitting of Parliament.
I'm aware the majority leaders wrote to departments, agencies to give them the laws that are supposed to be are in the pipeline that are supposed to be laid before Parliament. I'm sure that update will be given to them so that they can update what you saw in Parliament.
So you expect that this current, I don't know what to call it, a session of Parliament will deal with LI 2180. You expect that to happen?
To amend it, LI
the amendment, yes.
Yes, and because it is more so because of the Okada, which is a campaign promise. The Okada issue is pushing it very hard for that to be passed.
By the way, the Okada, is it for urban use? Because when I go to my hometown in Georgia, people use Okada readily and nobody is stopping them. So is the Okada law coming because of the uniqueness of urban spaces? Because again, if you go to Tamale or even Bolga, where you are from, people use Okada and nobody has any problem. So what is the Okada law going to do that is not known already?
No, at the moment it's illegal to use motorbike for commercial purposes. Now you want to synchronize that. If it has become a popular mode of transport, then your books should not be saying it's illegal. That's one. Two, we think that we can harmonize the Okada operations such that it can become much more safer. And then lastly, but more important, to give jobs to the youth. So that's why we are doing what we are doing.
I'll come back to Okada later. I just wanted to say something. So as of around 7:30, people started calling us about this truck broken down on the motorway. It's 8:50, and the truck is still there. Beyond the LI that you are passing, I mean, can the Road Safety Commission have some sort of task force or some dashboard where things that can cause road obstruction, there will be some way of moving to deal with them? Because it seems quite extraordinary that over an hour and a half, the major road that takes us to Tema has been blocked by a truck. And all cars are just waiting because nobody can move the car. And we can't wait for an LI to do this. This is basic logistics, right?
Yes, so this falls within the ambit of the MTTD. Anytime there's a distressed car, it's the MTTD that must do that. Road safety comes in when these agencies, road agencies, are not playing their part. We are a regulator. We are not an implementing agency, and I keep saying it. So we are like the big boy there, whipping them. Now, if the MTTD is not doing what it's doing, we can draw its attention, but it is not within our ambit. We are just a regulator. I need to emphasize that.
I thought you were authority. So authority doesn't mean you do things. You just enforce things.
with authority here means that we now have the capacity to call highways. Go and do this. Urban roads, fix the lights. Assembly, your street lights are not working. Do it, or else we'll send it to court. And you've seen of recent, I've been threatening to send some of the assemblies to court.
Maybe you should, and we'll publicize it. You also need to talk to the contractors, because when they are building roads, yes, we appreciate the fact that they are doing roads, but they make things so difficult. For example, we are talking about the Accra Cape Coast Road, where robberies occurred over the weekend because there are rough patches of the road and there's no light, construction light not present, directional signs absent, heaps of sand everywhere. I mean, does that not fall within your ambit to say, look, contractor A, the way you are building this road, by the time you finish, 10 people would have died. So change your ways. Is that not your job?
Yes, it is of concern. The road infrastructure is our concern. And so who are the agencies that are engaged in that? Highways. So we tell highways, please, put the road signs there. The pedestrians are complaining. We need to ensure that there's safety on the roads. So yes, based on that, when information reaches us, we do the needful.
Okay, so I've sent you information that the Accra Cape Coast Road is progressing steadily, but there are many portions that need the contractor spoken to. So maybe you want to visit there with your team. The Accra Tema Motorway is also going well. We don't think today's problem is caused by the construction at all, but we urge you to keep an eye on it as well. So those are two things I wanted to flag. And then let me go back to something we discussed last time. You know, we spoke about signage and their haphazard placement. I use the East Legon Boundary Road and I still see a lot. Even though we have, I think you've put on some of them that they are wrongly cited, I still see a lot of road signage and advertising small billboards on the median of the road, obstructing the view of road users, and they are still there.
They are right. And I always take that road. I'm almost at that road driving to the office. Last week, I called a meeting for us to discuss it with the assemblies. They didn't turn up. My understanding was that the Regional Coordinating Council did not inform them in good time. So the Regional Coordinating Council has promised to bring them together this week, I think Thursday, and I'll meet them. It is one of the things that I intend to discuss with them for their removal. The median is not supposed to be used for that. It defaces the beauty of the road, and the median are not supposed to be used for erecting billboards. And so I would deal with that with them. I would also be on the Kumasi Accra stretch in Koko Junction, I think this week again, and I've informed the Nkoko Assembly, I've informed the police in Koko, I've informed the Traditional Council in Koko that the articulated tracks that have used that portion as their parking lot must go. They must remove those things there. So I'll be there, and I've asked your medium to be part of those who will beam it for us.
We'll be following you. Tetekwasi Interchange used to be so beautiful. I've seen about 3 trotro stations in various parts of the interchange. I'm not sure whether that's a road safety issue or an urban planning issue. Has it come to your attention? Do you have anything to do about that?
Now, you must not also inconvenience the pedestrians or those who pick trotro around those areas. So it is important for the district assembly to also provide an alternative. Where would people board vehicles and alight? We need to provide that. And I think you brought that to my attention. I'll add it to, because they are all coming. 29 district assemblies are all meeting me this week. I think it's Thursday or so. So I'll bring that to their attention. They should provide stations, parking spaces for trotro drivers to also disembark the pedestrians. That's also important.
Will your LI 2180 include Aboboya and Aboso Kaim Macho and the others, or this is just commercial use of motorbikes?
This is commercial use of motorbikes and tricycles, I must insist. And you've spoken about the north. In the north, it's much more of tricycles, not Okada. So this law regulates both Okada, commercial motorbikes, and then bicycles.
So I'm told Aboso Kaim Macho is already covered by the existing law.
Yes, I think if they are doing delivery, if you are doing delivery on a motorbike, you are covered by the Ghana Post. Ghana Post regulates you. That is to say, if you are delivering parcels. Aboso Crime Macho is also regulated. I think I'll check that for you, but I don't know which law, but I'll check that for you.
All right. I was in Togo 3 weeks ago. I didn't see one person on the motorbike without a helmet. And I was there for about 5 hours. Everybody on the motorbike, man, woman, boy, girl, had a helmet on all the time. When I crossed back to Ghana, Joje, Denu, people were riding motorbike, no helmet. So beyond the law, you are going to have a behavioral, attitudinal problem because people in Ghana generally are not disciplined. I am sorry to say. How do you hope to educate the public on this safety issue? Because it was so strikingly different in Togo. Everybody was in a helmet. In Ghana, most people were not in a helmet and they were riding in front of police. Police didn't even stop them. So are you just going to change the law and hope everybody reads it? Or you are going to, what are you going to do to ensure that this is enforced?
The Okada you see today is not going to be the Okada you will see when the law is implemented. Don't forget that we are unable to deal with them as an agency or an institution because you'll be dealing with an illegality. And so we cannot provide them with road safety education. We cannot provide them with any other services that the authority has to do. DVLA cannot deal with them because they are also an illegal group. So when they become legal, that is when you can begin to provide them with sensitization, education as well. In Rwanda, it was similar. You didn't find anybody, even the women who did their hair styling and wearing their wigs and all those things would still put on the helmet. In the law, you are required, if you so wish, to have your own helmet if you are a frequent user of the motorbike. So if you think that the Okada man doesn't keep the helmet well and it's not neat, you can have your own helmet. The law allows that. So the long and short of it is that the current Okada, where riders disobey road signs, disobey the various traffic regulations, will be a thing of the past once we implement. And we have told them already, I mean the Okada people, that the legalization also comes with responsibility, and this will be done.
Finally, where can I get a copy of the LI in this form so I can educate myself? Because obviously, as soon as it becomes law, you will be telling the media to help you with education. We haven't seen it in any form.
I don't think you want to have it now when it is being tinkered with and written in all red and blue pen. You want it at the time that it is passed, isn't it?
We want to understand what went into the changes so we can articulate it better. So if you can get us a copy, we're very happy. But thank you for talking to us always.
Right.
Imam Maliba is the CEO. No, is it CEO? What's the word?
Managing director.
No, he can't be. He's the
General?
No.
He's an authority. So
Executive
director.
Sky, you are a lawyer. Director General of the National Safety Authority.
Okay.
You need to help us here. If it's an authority, then it's a DG. If it's state-owned enterprise, it's a CEO. Then when does it become MD?
You also have MD, so in some cases they have MD. So for instance,
no, go through and come and teach me one day. It's a lot. So for today, he's the DG. All right, thank you. So last point before we take the break. I've been sent a video of what happened on the motorway. So apparently the truck carrying stones has tipped onto. So even though the truck is not on the motorway, about 3 feet of the motorway is blocked by the sand. So they are urging
in the stones.
So they are urging the contractor
to just use the earth moving equipment.
Yeah, but it's not his part of his work. So he has to now move his truck from wherever he is and come and do it. Because he's doing his own work. This is somebody who's going his own somewhere.
Yeah, but just move. I mean, how long would it take you? They have a number.
But how can he move when the road is blocked? Where will he pass? Maybe he will pass on the rough side.
Yes, just move it there.
Okay. But you know the motorway, some of even the media, like the middle and stuff, there's like parts where it's like there's like water under it. So it's not.
And it's raining too.
It's not
okay, so contractor, we are begging you to move your truck But how can you move the sand? With a
No, they have earth moving equipment. You know the
no, the sand, the stones are on the motorway.
Yeah, so the ones I don't know how they is it no not bulldozer. There's one that
The one that they can use to
earth
collect.
moving. Yeah, that one. There's one that pushes the sand. So
You should go and push it.
Roll like to and move the thing.
Will you pay him for that work?
I mean, this you should do without even charging for it.
Okay, so Sky says you can do it without charging for it. But seriously speaking, we need to keep pushing the road safety. I think they are the most serious agency in that space I've heard.
That's far.
Yeah, so that we should keep encouraging them to do what they have to do.